right, why don't you guys come along with me for a second here. I'm going to take you to this spot here. It is just remarkable. It is just beautiful. Hey everybody, it's Brian, and you're watching News Guy Camping. I'm here today in the Monongahela National Forest on a dispersed camping site along Whitmer Road here. Got a nice little fire ring. I just set up my tent, which is this One Tiger Stella 4th season tent. It's not exactly a hot tent, but I am able to put a small heater inside. So anyways, I'm gonna go get my bedding set up and I'll be right back after I get that done. So here I have the Nature Hike U350S adult sleeping bag. It's got cotton fiber fill. It says the comfort is from 26 degrees and the risk is 1.4 degrees. It's supposed to get around 25, 24 degrees tonight. I should be good in this. I also have a fleece quilt that I'm gonna bring with me and put out in there. I should be fine. I'm gonna go get this unpacked and put inside the sleeping bag. It's amazing how much warmer it is inside that tent than from out here. It's at least 10 degrees warmer. It's around 34 degrees right now. Inside that tent, it's got to be at least 44 degrees, 45. You can really feel it once you enter it. I'm going to have my Nature Hike heater in there also. And that should warm it up really nice. It's such a marked difference between the inside and the outside of that. I'll be right back. So right now it says it's 45 degrees. Maybe it's because I'm holding it, but I don't know if you can see that 45 degrees here. So it's got to be at least 51, 52, 53 in that tent right now. I'm going to get my little stove set up here, and then I'm gonna get my heater ready for this evening. Then I'll sit down, we'll have a talk, okay? A little bit of coffee going here. let's see. Let's talk about my week. And I hope your week was really good. Cheers to you. I had a interesting week. A former police chief being arrested on charges stemming back from 2023. His department was raided by Homeland Security, searched. They were served a search warrant by Homeland Security, the Pennsylvania State Attorney General's Office, Pennsylvania State Police. And it was, we had never heard anything back from that incident. We had never heard what had happened. We never heard if there was anything going to come of it. We didn't know what they had found, but on Friday we found out that the former chief of police of this little town, Ligonier Valley, was allegedly doing drugs, helping turn a blind eye to a known drug dealer who he allowed to roam in the area and deal drugs, and also provide the police chief with painkillers and cocaine and other things. We also found out that the police chief was caught on video, allegedly again, snorting cocaine at a bar. So it was interesting. The public's reaction was more for good for getting the corrupt cops off the street. But then again, there was also people that came out and said, this was a good man. You're just bringing him down. I was even contacted by the daughter of the police chief, and she gave me what you would call a tongue lashing, yelling at over Facebook Messenger, because I posted the story on my professional Facebook page. She asked me to take it down because it shouldn't be public and it shouldn't be on Facebook. And I had to tell her that, this was a newsworthy story, for one. Two, the Westmoreland County District Attorney's Office had put out a press release on this, including this other gentleman, the alleged drug dealer. I told her that, this was not just me doing this. This was my station and and all the other stations in town, plus the newspapers, and she had none of it. And it turned into a whole me fest. If I can get it, I will read it to you. But it turned into a whole thing about her business, her livelihood, her embarrassment, and everything like that. And I quote here, "I would really appreciate," let me put my glasses on, make it official. "I would really appreciate for your post to be taken down. There is no need for this, for families, for lives. It's not fair for people to drag you down. Think of the others that have to go through things. Out of respect, please take your post down. Thank you." I said, "I have a job to do. The district attorney has posted this. It's public. It is newsworthy." She says, "It's not public for a Facebook post. It's not fair. Think before you post. Think how it affects his family, my work, my life. It's not your job to post it on Facebook to ruin my life. It is my job. It is newsworthy, and I work in the news. I'm sorry. It happens. He does have a family, and I agree. He does have a family. I'm not going to argue with someone, but he has a family. He is my father, and everyone makes mistakes, but I have a job. I have a life where I don't need people posting dumb S on Facebook. Thank you." And I said, "All the stations have this, the one I work for included." She says, You're all ridiculous, and know how to ruin people's lives. That's all. Ignore people who don't give a crap for anyone." And I ended it with, "Have a nice day." Now, I don't think that I'm stating the unobvious. It has to be obvious that your father screwed up. He screwed up big time. He allegedly got caught doing drugs. He was allegedly taking drugs from the drop-off bins in the lobby of places where I believe he was mandated to take these drugs and take them to be destroyed, but he was allegedly seen going through the bins, looking at the prescription bottles and tossing them on the floor of his car. That is alleged in the complaint. And the grand jury affidavit, that was their findings. I don't go out to ruin people's lives, but when you are a public official tasked with serving the public and protecting the public, and you allegedly do these things, it's going to make the news. And I'm sorry. And I didn't post it on my personal page. I posted it on my professional Facebook page, my work Facebook page. And I'm not out there to screw you over. I'm not there to screw your family over. I'm not there to take away your livelihood. But there's a thing called consequences. And unfortunately, your father, who I happened to like, he always treated me nicely when we were out at his area of Ligonier Valley when he was the police chief. He was a nice enough man, and I even bumped into him after this all went down, and he still hadn't been charged, but something else had happened. I'm not going to get into that. What bothered me about it is it was, instead of, the accountability of it all, it was me, my life, my job, my business, my family. I wasn't there to screw you over personally. Like I said, I don't even know who you were. Now I do. But yeah, it frustrated me. It frustrated me because she thinks I'm out there trying to screw her over and her family, and I'm not. If he had never done any of this, probably still would be chief. Probably wouldn't even know who she was. But, like they say, shit happens, right? A couple of the other things that I did, stories that I did, it snowed. Yes. I don't know if you know what snow looks like, because it seems like every year we have to tell people that it snowed, because you tend to forget what snow looks like if you're actually in a place where it snows. Yeah, that was kind of fun and redundant. Also, I had a short week. My wife had dental surgery, and she's recovering well. But it was a long time coming, and I'm happy things are working out for her. Still no word on any more jobs, but we're happy where we're at right now. So things are working out okay. And we're happy just to have jobs in this economy right now. I mean, even though the economy's pretty good, it's prices are, quote, high, but gas prices are dropping, grocery prices are dropping on some things. So, yeah, I mean, it could be a lot better, but it could be a lot worse too. I know I said I'd tell you a couple wild stories about covering news. One of the craziest stories that that happened to me, a couple of them. I had covered a house fire that had taken the lives of 8 children and 1 adult. It turned out to be arson. And not the nicest of stories. It was rough. It was a rough time. My reporter, Bill Sathos, and I were there at the scene the next morning after the fire. And back in those days, we used cables that ran to our live trucks. We didn't have the technology back then to use cell phones. Right now we use a thing, it's a pack about yay big, and it has 6 to 8 SIM cards in it. So we can just transmit over cell signal. Well, back then we'd have to run a cable, plug into the cable, and use a microwave, the truck with the big mast on top. And so I had about 150, 200 foot run down the block because of wires above. I couldn't put the mast up were near the house, so I had to drive down the road a little bit and run cables down the road, the sidewalk. And as I'm doing that, I set the cable down and I plug my camera into it and the junction box, and we called it the dongle. I come back and Bill is coming out from the truck from behind, and he's as white as a ghost. I said, Bill, what's wrong? And he says, we have to go. And I said, well, why do we have to go? He says, we have to go. There's a gentleman over there who says he's going to shoot us if we stay here. And I look around Bill, and there's a guy down behind him about, I don't know, maybe 100, 150 feet. And he pulls out a handgun. And I said, well, I guess we're going to have to be leaving. And leave we did. I wound up all the cable and threw everything in the back of my truck. We got in and we got out. And it was hard to believe, but our producers at the time for the news still wanted us to go live in front of the house. Now, there's a thing called trust your crew. And when this gentleman said that he was going to shoot us, I have no doubt in my mind that this gentleman would have actually shot us. Didn't want to chance it. And to this day, it still blows my mind that they wanted us to go live. Oh well, our lives are not worth losing over a live shot. Bill Saffos, he was a good man. I'll throw his picture up over here. He was a good man. He was tragically killed crossing a street and was hit by a car. And it was 3 days after he passed away that I found out, and because we had moved on, I had moved back to Pittsburgh at the time and everything. But yeah, it was that was sad. That was very, very, very sad. And he was a good guy. I was going out to check out a fire. This was also in Cleveland. And it was on a Sunday night to the Monday morning. Overnights into Monday morning, the bars let out, and it was in a not so nice area, this fire. I checked it out. It was a small fire. I shot it, and I'm coming back from the scene, and as I'm going into the city, all the traffic is coming out. So there's a lot of cars. It's a summer night, and I have my window down, and I'm in my news car, and this line of cars is passing me, and down in the distance I see these two cars. They're like zigzagging in and out, coming into my lane, way up ahead and then dropping back. The one car is going in, then the second car is like trying to catch up to it. And I hear this, and I see little flashes. And I realize there's a chase going on between two cars. And I'm hearing bullets go by my window. Yeah, not fun. I luckily came upon a gas station that was close, and I pulled into the driveway of that gas station, the parking lot, and I dove on the ground, across the seat. It was not fun, to say the least. What else can I tell you guys about? How about the time I was attacked by a 73-year-old man? He was accused of abusing animals. And the police department and the local Humane Society officers were going to go and take the animals away. Apparently what he had been doing was going to auctions, livestock auctions, and buying up the sick animals and ones that wouldn't sell at auction. Then he would take them back to his farm and either kill them or starve them, and then feed them to his other animals, his cows and his pigs and his whatever. So when we get there, because we had followed the humane officers in, the police department was already there. As we're driving up, the gentleman says to me through my window, "You're not going to put me on TV, are you?" And I didn't answer him. My reporter just laughed. She giggled because she, said, "Of course we're going to put you on TV. This is our story." So I pulled across the street from his property. So his property, road, we're parked over here. I get out. He starts walking across. My tailgate goes up on my car. I get my camera out. He goes, "You're not going to record me." And I put my camera on my shoulder, and he grabbed my lens. He says, "Get that out of here." And he grabs my lens, and I had to push him away a little bit. The police were right there, and he's screaming, "He's not allowed to take my picture. He's not allowed to take my picture." Wrong again. If you're in a public area, there is no right to privacy. This has been ruled on by the Supreme Court. You can scream, yell, do whatever, but if you're in a public space and there's a camera there and you're being recorded, there's nothing you can really do about it. But anyways, he starts screaming, "You're not allowed to take my picture. You're not allowed to take my picture." He can't do that. And he's screaming at the police, he can't do that. And they're like, "Yes, he can." And they start to walk him away across the street. "Well, he's on my property." No, he's not on your property. He's on the berm of the road, which is not your property. And your property was across the street where all the dead animals were. We do our story. The police, are containing him. And the police say, "Why don't you come with us?" So me and my reporter, we go and we follow the humane officers, and there's bones everywhere. I mean, just skulls and spinal columns and leg bones, and it's horrific. And there's pigs, and they're taking the pigs, and there's a couple horses away, and a couple dogs. It was a horrendous scene, and it makes you wonder how he could do this. I guess he just didn't have enough money to afford the feed, so it was cheaper to get these animals and not feed them or kill them, and then feed them to the animals he wanted to keep. I don't know. When he attacked me, that was kind of funny. I was shocked, and afterwards, I went up to him and I said, "Hey, no hard feelings, right?" And he looks at me kind of strange. I said, "Listen," he says, "I'm not angry at you. Are you still angry at me?" And he goes, "No, I'm not angry at you." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "So can we call a truce?" And he says, yeah. And we shook hands, which, okay, fair enough. We manned up, and he kind of apologized in his way, and I wasn't sticking my camera in his face. He actually talked to us, did an interview with us for a news story. As bizarre as that is, okay. And afterwards, I said to him, maybe next time you might not want to pick on somebody that's 6'3" and outweighs you by 170 pounds. Just a thought about that. I said, I don't hold any ill will against you. I just don't do that. Think before you act like that. He got a little look on his face. I mean, he had a white beard and everything like that, and he was an older guy, didn't have a lot of money, you could tell. And it turns out that it wasn't really his property that he was on. He was on this property, but he hadn't paid rent in like 6 months, and they were trying to evict him. And he was renting the land and working the land, but I don't know whatever happened with him after that. I know he got fined. I don't know if he got any jail time for animal cruelty. I don't think he did. But that was one of the more wilder stories as well. Another time where I got attacked was around the time of the George Floyd protests. We were up in Indiana, PA, in Indiana County. And there was a march going on, and there was I wouldn't want to. Okay, I'm gonna say it. They were Antifa-ish people there who did not want to be on TV. Well, then don't show up to a public march. There's bound to be cameras there, especially in this time where there's a lot of turmoil and everything like that. I'm spraying the crowd, and I see this guy come up. Actually, he came up from my open side because I'm blind on this side when I have the camera on my shoulder. So I saw him come up and walk around, and he went out of my frame. And so I didn't even do it to put him on TV. I just was panning. And he saw me, and he started to walk back, and his girlfriend actually grabbed my lens of the camera and said, "No pictures, no cameras." And she grabbed my lens again, and she wouldn't let go. So I had to grab her arm, and I forcibly removed it, and I kind of put her down over this way onto her knees. I'm holding her wrist up like this, and I'm forcing her down. And her boyfriend, I guess, the guy, was getting very upset that, I had her like this. And the cops were over, and they're like, no, back up. And they told him to back up, and they said, "Okay, we got her. And so the cops, took her away and talked to her. And she wasn't arrested or anything like that. Just once again, the thing about being in public and not wanting your picture taken, that's, you know, that's a big thing. And that always makes me laugh because I was approached one time and a guy said, and I was shooting pedestrians on the sidewalk. And he walks by me and says, "If you put me on TV, I'll sue." And I looked up and I said, "Sir, if your lawyers are as good as our corporate lawyers, feel free to sue me and sue our station." And he just like, "Oh, I never really thought of that." He got that look on his face like, "I never thought of that." So, you know, that's the thing. I don't know if you guys know who auditors are. Auditors will like go to public buildings and they'll record and they see where they can go and what most of them try to do. They truly believe they're doing a service, and that's fine. A lot of them, though, some of them, some of these auditors do it, and they're just there to elicit a response. They want to get that person angry, the person that approaches them, the person that tells them that, you know, they better get out of here, the person that pushes them away, pushes their camera away. They're looking for that response, and they do it for the video clicks. And I'm not saying they all do it, but you see that happens. And it usually is the people saying, "You can't record my business. You can't record my image. You can't record this. You can't record that." And on one hand, the provocation is problematic, but the other thing is people don't understand what public means. And I think that the one thing, when there's confrontation, that's one thing, but when the police are called and everything like that, and the police have to explain to these people, if they're not on your property, they're on a public sidewalk. They're not on your they're not trespassing or anything like that. They have the right to do what they're doing. It's no different than what I'm doing as a news videographer, standing on a sidewalk, shooting people, shooting a business, shooting a house, and that's what people don't understand. Like, people are like, "Don't put my house on TV. Don't put my car on TV. Don't put my license plate on TV." If you're parked on a public space, if you're parked out in public, if you're walking down the street, I can't emphasize this enough. You do not have the right to privacy. Even if you're on private property and you're standing outside and I or one of these auditors is recording anything we can see, even onto private property, is fair game. Okay? Do I personally go and try and shoot into windows or provoke people? Oh gosh, no. It's not worth the hassle. And I think things like that, it's cheap journalism when like an auditor tries to do that, tries to get a rise out of somebody. What do you think about those things? Do you ever watch the auditor videos or anything like that? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the news also. I mean, you're not going to hurt my feelings about saying I'm fake news or we're fake news, because a lot of times, yes, there are biases that go into the news. There shouldn't be, but especially in this day and age, it's so partisan right now. So let me know what you think about news. Do I watch the news? No, I usually really don't. If I can avoid it, I will. I've been in this business like 36 years. I don't want to be reminded of what I do. When I get home, it's History Channel or YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. I mean, my wife usually has Ancient Aliens on in the background. Aliens. But do we watch the news? No. Only if there's something that I shot and I want to see how it really looks on the air, then yeah, I'll watch it, but only that briefly. But man, no, I've had enough of it. But but please tell me in the comments, what do you think about the news? Do you watch it? Do you have a source that you go to? Let me know. Do you think that there's bias in the news? Do you think that there's no bias in the news? What's your thoughts on that? So let me know in the comments. I'm gonna clean up here, go over to my tent, get inside, get the heater going, get under the blankets and the sleeping bag, and call it an early night. I'm going to try and watch some videos. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. If not, it's going to be a long night, and I'm going to take a nap. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later. So I'm in the tent for the evening. It's really warm in here right now because I have my Nature Hike 3-in-1 heater going. I have the screen here, the mesh, open. I have the cover right here. I'm going to let that go for a little bit while I'm still awake. Then I'm going to close this and turn the heater off so I can get some sleep. But it is really, really, really toasty in here right now. I gotta say, one Tigress, this Stella 4th season tent is remarkable. It is living up to its promises, its reviews from what I saw online. And so, yeah, pretty interesting. But it's a little cramped in here with the heater and trying to keep away from that and everything like that. But I want to show you something that I got at an Army-Navy store. I know it's not all that remarkable to you guys, but to me it's pretty cool. This is a 2-quart canteen. I got it for $8. No, $6. $6. And it's got a little bit of an insulated case on it, and some cover for the water canteen, 2-quart collapsible. It's pretty freaking neat. Let me swing you around here for a second. So that's what that is. Pretty freaking sweet. Even has US on it, so you know it's real, right? But anyways, so yeah, but let me show you the heater right now. That's it right there. It's going away and doing its thing. I have extra. In fact, I'm going to turn that down because that is pretty freaking warm right now. There we go. There we go. And hopefully that'll keep me nice and toasty. Also, I'm using a new camera, a new to me camera, I should say. It's the Extra Muse camera. It is the version of the DJI Pocket 3. I guess it's the exact same thing, but it's how they get around the tariffs, I guess, or the possible ban. It's a shadow company, allegedly. But yeah, kind of interesting. but it's a neat little camera. I'm not really fond of cameras with gimbals, even though I have a DJI gimbal also for the iPhone. But this is pretty cool in itself. Makes it easier to shoot video in here. I do have my little Action 5 here. Hold on. And with the light on it, I'm sure you can see that. The light, and I've also got the light on back here as well. It's giving me a little bit of additional light. But yeah, having a go with this camera here. I think it looks really good shooting in 4K, and so you can really see how ugly I am. I might actually try and take a little bit of a nap. I think I might turn the heater off and close this thing here and maybe get a little bit of a nap. Well, good morning, everybody. It is 4:23 on a Sunday morning here. I woke up because my old man bladder told me I had to get up. Slept pretty well. Pardon me. I've slept pretty well so far. I'm probably going to go back and see if I can catch just a little bit more sleep. I just cranked the heater up again. It's been really nice in here. Right now it says that it is, what does it say it is in here? Where's my glasses? Hang on, excuse me 1 second. 59 degrees in here. So it's very comfortable. I heard one noise last night, and I think it was the plastic in this. This being on the floor, it got a little cold, and I think it went thunk, because the compression on it. But I have to say this tent has been incredible. The Stella from One Tigress. I know they make a Stella 2.0 now. This is I guess the original. It's a couple years old. But yeah, for what I paid for this, I think it was $12. Like I said, I got it on mac.bid. I'll throw up the image if I can find it. But I think I'm probably going to try and grab a little bit more sleep here. And then I'll see you back hopefully when the sun's up. And I'll start to break down camp here and head on home. I'll get back to you guys in a little bit, okay? Until we meet again. Well, good morning, everybody. Again, it is 8:30 on the dot. Last time I talked to you guys, it was 4 something in the morning. Now it's 8:30 in the morning. That's how much sleep I got. This tent retains heat so well. I've gone through 1.5 of these butane canisters because it all depends on how you dial the Nature Hike 3-in-1 stove. If you have it full blast, these aren't going to last more than like 3 hours. But if you dial it down and you just get it to where you just need it nice and just a little bit warm enough to be comfortable, then it just sips the butane. The one that I originally had in here was from my last camping trip, and that was half full. So that lasted from like 7:30 till 11:15-ish. Then I changed it out, and then I admit I did have that one on full blast for a lot, so this went out in about 3 hours. So I did have that one going on. I really wanted to be comfortable last night, and just to see how this tent holds heat. Boy, does it hold heat. I changed it, and I've had this one on medium to low, and it has been toasty, and I've slept for 4 hours. So, and it's still going strong. So if I could recommend for a small for a tent that has the space, and it's a 4th season tent like this, and at least you have it well ventilated, the Nature Hike 3-in-1 camping stove is the way to go. It's portable and compact, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Just make sure you have it on a table, and make sure you have proper ventilation. That is the key. Also have a carbon monoxide and dioxide detector, because yes, unfortunately, butane does give those off. But I'm gonna make some coffee right now, and then I'm gonna get packed up and I'm gonna be heading home. I'll see you. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, tell your friends. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. I don't know if I'm able to be hyped or not. I've never checked, I've never looked. But once again, like I said before, tell me where you're from. Let me know how you stumbled across my channel. And let me know if you like it or not, and if you like me, or if you hate my guts. I don't care. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later, and like I always say, everybody, if you can, stay off the news. Bye for now.